The Minnesota Twins take a road series in St. Louis. Thanks in part to this Ryan Jeffers 2-run home run in the top of the second inning. And this guy's been playing well this year. And Michael A. Taylor added another 2-run home run, also in the second inning. This one up into Big Mac Land up there. Big Matt Land. Maybe they should rename that one. Michael A. Taylor flexing his muscles. And on the road versus a left-handed starting pitcher with Sonny Gray on the mound, who they just never give run support. So that seemed like such an unlikely outcome for the team early in this one, to be up 4-1. And Sonny held up his end of the bargain, had another great start. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts, was incredibly efficient in this one, completing 7 innings with less than 80 pitches. And again, Twins take a road series. There you see that line from Gray once again. Very efficient. And then he just turns it over to Jackson Duran, who take care of business. Duran did give up another run, but here is the lineup from the box score. Willie Castro stole his 27th base in this one as well. So good to see the Twins kind of bouncing back, taking a series here. And Kansas City has stayed hot, oh, by the way. The Twins, there's a lot of roster moves to talk about. But Dallas Keuchel, who he'd opted out, but they had some time. They had a window where they could add him. They added him. Joe Ryan is going to the injured list with a left groin strain that he hadn't disclosed to the team. So maybe that's been kind of slowing him down of late. Let's go back to Keuchel and some of my thoughts I shared in a recent live stream. I'm not super confident that Dallas Keuchel is going to be effective in the majors. We'll just put it that way. He looks a lot like he did after his last good season. He looks a lot like he did when he was getting his teeth kicked into the majors. Is it worth a look? I think, yeah, I mean, why not? If all that happens is maybe you give him a couple starts, it doesn't work out, and you DFA him and he gets to look for a new opportunity, there's not much harm done there. I would be a lot more confident with Louis Varland than I would with Dallas Keuchel. But he's an option. I mean, that's depth. That's depth they didn't have. I would say I'm more confident in that than Aaron Sanchez or Derek Rodriguez or some of these other guys that they've had in that kind of a role. So, some big news on the minor league side. Brooks Lee is being promoted from Wichita to St. Paul. I thought it was interesting on this graphic here that they labeled him as an infielder when he's played almost all shortstop. 1 start at third base while Royce Lewis was rehabbing in Wichita. But anyway, an incredible July for Brooks Lee. He had a .433 on-base percentage and a .600 slugging. Also moving up to St. Paul are Yunior Severino, the reigning Texas League Hitter of the Month, and DaShawn Keirsey Jr. A couple guys have been awesome for Wichita. Also, Walker Jenkins is making his professional debut. He hit third and DH'd for the Florida Complex League Twins. Of course, the Twins' first-round draft pick. But a great account on Twitter, or whatever they're calling it these days, is @TwinsPlayerDev. That has some highlights of his game. I want you to go check them out. That is an official account of the Twins. I really appreciate that they're doing that this year. There's been a lot of great stuff, and obviously this Jenkins stuff from the FCL, hard to find, so I'm really appreciative that they put that out there. So go check them out. Anyway, moving on to the Saints game. Brooks Lee didn't quite join the Saints today, but here's Randy Dobnak. He was really looking great early in this one. You saw there he hit 94 a couple times in the first inning. He was actually perfect through the first 3 innings of this game. Made it through an entire turn of the lineup perfect. Carried a no-hitter into the 6th inning. Things got a little crazy after that, which we'll get to. But I just want to call out Dobnak is coming off a good July himself. And, looked pretty good in the early goings here. 7 strikeouts in 5 innings for Dobnak, which he hasn't been missing a ton of bats this year. So that's kind of a new look to Randy Dobnak that we haven't seen in a while. 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. Also did walk 4 batters. After that great start, he did kind of start to lose his control a little bit. And then it was like the difficulty got turned up in the 6th inning. This was the hit that broke up the no-hitter. Anthony Prado and Jair Camargo at first base, usually a catcher, combined to make a really good play, but it wasn't quite enough to get the out. And then, again, it just seemed like the difficulty got turned up. Everything got really hard for the Saints. Here, Mark Contreras kind of throws this one into the middle of nowhere, and Camargo makes matters worse by booting it for an error that's charged to Contreras. And then Dobnak comes out of the game. Randy Henriquez comes in, and a very well hit ball that Andrew Stevenson can't quite track down with the wall there on the warning track too. So some inherited run scoring on Dobnak's account. And then here's trying to turn a double play. A good play by Camargo. I want to call that out at first. Not a play he's made often, probably thrown over to second. But Randy Henriquez, one of the shortest pitchers you'll find out there, didn't have enough height to reel that one in. That's an error. And Camargo's got to take this one himself. He had a good game over at first. That booted error wasn't great, but I think he's looked pretty comfortable over there for a guy who's barely played. Austin Martin can't get this throw on the money in the 7th inning. Throws it on the other side of home plate that he wants it to go to. They can't make the play. Rough. Switching gears over to Cedar Rapids, and we're looking at Emmanuel Rodriguez once again. This guy's been playing really well of late. Hit a laser for a home run. He had an .898 OPS across June and July, and now has 3 homers in his first 3 games in August. Lots of promotions. I don't know, maybe this guy's going to push for a promotion before too long. He is still only 20 years old, but he's been playing really well, and Wichita could use some more of a draw now that most of their best players just got called up. Anyway, here are the notable hitting performances. I'm going to include Walker Jenkins today, but we're not going to include the FCL on a daily basis again. Got to draw the line somewhere, but did want to call out Walker Jenkins' great pro debut. Here is the starting pitching rundown from the minor league side. Not really much to call out there other than that Dobnak start we took a good long look into. Here are the results. Windsurge were getting crushed. That team, again, they've lost a lot of their best players. They're already kind of having a rough year. I think it might be a tough go for them. But thank you so much for watching. Thanks to all the channel members here, the premium members. We'll talk again soon.